Hi there, welcome back to the Boxing Show. Now, Dillian Whyte has long been waiting his shot to the prestigious WBC belt, now held by Tyson Fury. So Andy Scott caught up with the head of the WBC, Mauricio Sulaiman, to find out more.
Dillian Whyte has had to wait so long for his shot at the world title. How likely is it that he will get his shot in February?
Well, he's a mandatory contender. He's WBC interim champion. And the date that was set for the next mandatory is February 2021. And that's the way it stands right now. The WBC is going to look at every single weight category with the championships and with the mandatories and every single situation that has to do with each particular situation regarding this pandemic. But Dillian Whyte is a mandatory for February 2021.
He beat Robert Helenius in 2017 in October. I think he became the WBC #1 the following month when the rankings were updated, but he still hasn't got a shot at the main champion. It becomes very difficult to convince the casual fan as to why that is.
Being #1 does not necessarily mean that you are the mandatory contender. He's a tremendous fighter. He's very loyal. He has expressed that it's his dream and desire to fight only for the green and gold belt. That's been a process. And as I said, I just like to put it behind and concentrate on his status as interim champion and mandatory contender.
With Wilder undergoing surgery, I think on the bicep, would there be an option to mandate Dillian against Tyson Fury and make that fight now?
The date is February 2021. Wilder rematch with Fury is a contractual situation that they have. That's their own contract, their own situation legally. For the WBC, the mandatory is Dillian Whyte for the time that was stipulated.
Interesting there, Dillian. What's your reaction to what Mauricio Sulaiman said there?
I don't even know, man. I don't know. Mauricio Sulaiman says a lot of things and don't do a lot of things. I don't know, you know. I have no idea what to say. It makes me angry, and it's frustrating that he's saying one thing, then he's doing another thing. #1, Tyson Fury refused to fight me in a WBC mandated fight for the WBC Diamond Belt. Secondly, they took my mandatory away and gave Tyson Fury the mandatory position to fight Otto Wallin, who is a million ranked in the world. It's a joke. How can he come back and fight? What's the geezer's name? Tom Shorts and Otto Wallin or whatever. And then end up being the mandatory challenge after I've been fighting back-to-back top 10 contender. They suspend my mandatory position without true cause or proper evidence or anything and make that. It's a joke. It's a joke. And I don't care whether Tyson Fury and Wilder is contracted. Wilder is injured. So they should mandate Tyson Fury to fight me as they've done already before. They mandate him to fight me for the Diamond Belt. Then they took it away. But after Tyson Fury refused to fight me, he refused. It wasn't me that refused. I accepted the fight. That was mandated by the WBC. He refused to fight me, and then after I'm being punished, and they rewarded him for fighting Tom Shorts after being off for 3 years. This is a joke. It's an absolute joke.
I've lost count how many days you have been mandatory now for. I mean, you sound frustrated, and that is totally understandable, but how do you manage that frustration?
You know what? I'm so far in now. What do? Do I just abandon my position and move on and go and pursue something else? I just keep pushing forward and just keep encouraging the fans to just keep putting pressure on the people. You know, it's a joke. The boxing world and the fans need to put pressure on Mauricio Sulaiman to mandate Tyson Fury to fight me next. You know,
Johnny, can you understand Dillian's frustrations? I mean, if ever there was a fighter that has earned their shot at a world title, it surely is Dillian Whyte. He's never avoided anyone. He's fought everyone that is put in front of him, and he's proved himself time and time again.
You know, it's a massive injustice. I think anybody that knows boxing, anybody that loves boxing, anybody that has watched this story unfold knows he's not being treated correctly, not being treated right. I've been in exactly the same position when I boxed. I had to wait 2 years when it should have been my turn, and watched Carl Thompson box Chris Eubank twice, and had to sit by and wait. It's frustrating, but that is a time where he needs to do what he's doing now. Surround himself with a good team. Make sure he's in camp, ticking over, not overtraining, ticking over, because you can get disillusioned with this sport when such an injustice is happening, because that's what it is. What I didn't understand is how can he be number one but not be mandatory? So there's a few conflicting things that are being said there. And of course, if Wilder's out injured, then they say, all right, then step up Dillian Whyte. And it's just so unfair. It's like a kangaroo court. And all that can be done, because the rules are their own, is the pressure of the public, the pressure of the TV, the pressure of Dillian. You know, you've just got to put them on the shameful pressure, because it's not right what's happening.
Dillian, do you agree? I mean, how can you force the issue?
We just have to people have to come together in the boxing world and fans and just try and, put as much pressure on them as we possibly can, because I don't think they really care, to be honest, but like, you're meant to be a just organization. I've done everything. I've keep risking. I've been risking the number one position since 2017, I think. And I'm still here risking it. I'm here fighting these guys. Povetkin was number one in WBC, which I'm gonna fight. Wilder was meant to fight him. That fight didn't happen. I beat Elenius, I beat Cesaro, I beat this guy, I beat that guy, I beat 2 former world champions. It's crazy. It's crazy. What more can I do? I've spent thousands and hundreds of thousands in sanctioning fees. I won every single WBC belt I'm eligible for, apart from the world title. I think my first WBC fight was the Brian Minto fight, I think. I know far that goes.
Dillian, is there anything you would have done differently? Hindsight looking back.
I don't know, man. It's hard to say what I'd have done differently. It's hard to say I'd have gone after this organization had done. But I believe I can be WBC champion. I've always believed I could be WBC champion. And that's what I've been loyal to. And I've put so much into it now. It's a shame. It is a shame. And they need to look at themselves and look at the organization and realize that, listen, this guy's done everything we've asked of him and more, and been loyal. That alone in itself should be enough to let him sort it out, What more can I say? I've been respectful. I went to Mexico. I went out to Mexico to the WBC themselves. I went out there. I had a meeting with them. I went to Cancun. I sent one of my representatives to Cancun. We've done everything possible. We've done everything.
Johnny, what advice would you give Dillian?
I think history will tell its own story here, regardless of what happens with Dillian's career from this point onward. In history, this will be the biggest conversation of how he was, it seems like, kept out of the loop, kept out of the mix. But again, the only advice I can give him is what Brendan once gave me. Just keep ticking over. Just keep training, stay focused, stay on point. Do what you do what you love doing. He's made boxing, he's made training a lifestyle, not a habit. And that's what he's got to do, because otherwise weaker fighters would drift off and be disillusioned. There's so many great fighters that I know that never did anything because they were heartbroken and he went and did something else. And if they'd have stuck at it, guys they beat in the past that went leapfrogged ahead and became world champion, and they're frustrated. So what Dillian's doing is the right thing. He's thinking, right, you were doing it wrong. I'm not going to keep my mouth shut. I'm going to let everybody here scream from the rooftops, but I'm going to make sure I'm ready, because when my time comes, I'm going to grab it with both hands. This will be down in history in regards to how long he's waited, the injustice he's had. And if he wins that world title, it would be an amazing story.
I think it is the longest wait for a mandatory title in history, Dillian. You've got a new title.
Yeah, they need to give me a special title. And then what I don't understand is, what everyone forget is the WBC mandate me and Tyson Fury to fight for the diamond belt. Tyson Fury pulled out the fight, not me. So why am I being punished for that?
Has your focus changed at all and your motivation? you want that world title shot and it hasn't materialized, it hasn't happened, and you keep waiting and waiting and waiting. Does your motivation change? Is it still about the titles? Is it more about the financial side of things?
It is about the title, because if you become world champion, that's when you truly see the financial side. You know, it's about the world title. The world title brings everything else. It brings the glory, it brings the history, it brings the finance. It's all about the world title. You know, it's not just about finance, it's about winning the world title. That's something that will be with you forever. It's like winning an Olympic gold medal. It's something that stays with you forever, you know, something that stays in your family generation. I'll be the first person in my family that win any form of world title in any way, form or shape. So, you know, I want to be that guy that 200 years from now, my family say, you know what, my great granddad or whatever was heavyweight champion of the world, you know?